colleagues, my name is Dr. Benson Joroge, currently the Dean School of Education. I'm here to present a synopsis of the 2020-2029 Mount Kenya University Strategic Plan. Now, colleagues will agree that any organization will require a strategic direction. And this strategic direction is actually championed by a strategic plan. So the university constituted a committee to develop a strategic plan under the guidance of the Pro-Chancellor, Dr. Vincent Gotv. Then we took views, opinions, perceptions, areas to include in the strategic plan. That is, we had a stakeholders consultation. And the 2020-2029 strategic plan was developed. Now, in it, we had a slight departure from the 2015-2019 strategic plan. Because in the previous one, we were talking about 9 pillars. But here, we thought about the outcome. And therefore, we thought about how do we craft that. And therefore, we came up with 6 strategic or key resource areas. So the 6 key resource areas include, the first one is academic excellence. 2, research and innovation. 3, partnerships and resource mobilization. 4, institutional capacity. 5, enterprises for institutional sustainability. And 6, welfare and community service. Colleagues, you agree with me that the objects of an university are threefold: teaching, research, and community service. So if you look at the KRA 1, KRA 2, and KRA 6, they try to address that. But we cannot be able to provide the 3 without thinking about institutional capacity. We cannot be able to do that without thinking about enterprises for institutional sustainability. And finally, we don't live in a vacuum. We operate within an environment. We are an open system. And therefore, partnerships and resource mobilization is also a part of the KRA. Now, we want to look at this. Before you actually develop the strategic plan, you must look at what environment are you operating in. For us, within this 2020-2029 strategic plan, we are operating within the context or the environment of the CBC, that is Competency Based Curriculum. So this is a departure from the 844. So here we are talking about 2 years in preschool, 3 years in lower primary, 3 years in upper primary, 3 years in JSS, that is junior secondary school, 3 years in senior school, and then 3 years in the university education. So colleagues, we must see that there are a lot of changes that we need to think about for us to be able to operate within this strategic plan. Because with the CBC, we will have a departure from 4 years university education to 3 years university education. So that is the environment within which we are operating. Now, but then, for us to be able to understand the 6 key resource areas and why, what informed maybe the crafting of the 6 strategic areas, allow me to take you through the CBC curriculum so that you understand, and then it will help us understand now the 6 key resource areas. Now, with the paradigm shift from 844 to the CBC, we are saying we are moving from content focus. With 844, there is a lot of content, and moving to competencies. We want learners to acquire competencies because that's what the market wants. We are moving from a rigid and prescriptive curricula with a limited flexibility you can see how narrow the areas within the senior school are. But now, with the CBC, we are moving to a curricula where there is flexible opportunities for specialization and many pathways. Actually, we have 3 pathways and 12 tracks. So you can be able to see that this is a flexible curricula. We are moving from focus on summative evaluation and competition to a curricula where there is a balance between formative and summative assessment. And it is based on excellence, the child's excellence. We are moving from emphasis on schooling, coming to school. The teacher is the one who is very prescriptive. But we are moving to a curricula where it is education. The learner is able to acquire knowledge, skills, values, and attitude, either using the teacher, from multimedia, from colleagues. So there is cooperation in the entire learning process, a departure from schooling. Then we are going to departure again from teaching. That process of telling, discussing, to tell a learner what to do, or somebody, so that they can acquire knowledge, skills, values, and attitude, to where there is learning, that relatively permanent change in behavior as a result of instruction. And the instruction may not only come from the teacher. The instruction may come from different sources, online learning, the learners generating their own knowledge through constructivism, through enactivism. So that's what we are saying, that there is that inflation, the change. With the CBC curricula, we are thinking about having an engaged, empowered, and ethical citizen. That is the vision that the CBC curricula aims to achieve. Then how does it get there? There is the mission, nurturing every learner's potential. So in the CBC curricula, we know learners have many potentials. And therefore, we want them to fully exploit those potentials. So nurturing every learner's potential is the mission of the CBC. We move on. We have been thinking about the 844 system. For us, the concentration has been content. But now we want to also deal with the VBE, value-based education. So in the CBC, there are certain values that will be entrenched to the learner, like love, responsibility, respect, unity, peace, social justice, and integrity. But there are also guiding principles. That is the principle of opportunity. Every learner will be provided with an opportunity so that they can excel and acquire competencies to their fullest potential. We are talking about excellence. You see, somebody achieving to the highest level. We are talking about diversity and inclusion, that all the learners from wherever diverse background, from whatever diverse maybe potentials, they are all included within the classroom setting, within the learning environment. Then we have PPE, parental empowerment and engagement. So the parent this time in the CBC curriculum is more involved than in the 844. Then there is a key thing, community service learning. We are talking about experiential learning, where what learner runs in the classroom, they're able to apply directly on the outside world, either for the benefit of themselves or the benefit of the society. So we are saying, in this case, as learning occurs in the classroom, the learner is supposed to go give back to the community as they experience, as they maybe practice what they have acquired in the classroom. So in order to acquire the competencies. Then there is a differentiated curriculum and learning. We are going to see that one in the different pathways and the different tracks. Then there are certain theoretical foundations upon which the CBC is built upon. The instructional design theory, Vygotsky socio-cultural theory, Gardner's multiple intelligence theory, Piaget theory of cognitive development. they are the ones which are upon which the CBC curricula is anchored. Now, a runner must acquire 7 competencies within the CBC. That is communication and collaboration, critical thinking and problem solving, imagination and creativity. 4, citizenship. 5, digital literacy. 6, running to run. 7, self-efficacy. Maybe let me narrow myself down to the last 2, running to run. We know with the current system, it's more about us, maybe the academia, the faculty, pushing down the knowledge we have to our runners. So it's more content-based. But look at the other one. We are saying a runner must run how to run. That runners are able to go out there and gather knowledge for their own, create knowledge, constructivism theory. Then self-efficacy, believing in themselves that they can acquire, they have the ability to perform to their best potential. So the issue of citizenship, we allow our runners to love their country, to love their fellow men. So we're expecting that with the CBC, issues of corruption are likely to go down. So these are 7 core competencies that every runner within the CBC should acquire. And that's what the world of work wants. Then we move on. This is the organization of the CBC. Like I said, there is a preschool. We have the grade 1 and the PP1 and PP2. Then we have the lower primary, where we have grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. The upper primary, where you have grade 5, 6, and 7. Then we have the JSS, Junior Secondary School, grade 7, 8, and 9. Then senior school, where we have grade 10, grade 11, and then grade 12. Then these guys will be able to either go to tertiary education. So these guys will come to us. They will transit to the world of work. So from the senior school, these students will translate to the university. So we must prepare ourselves to receive these students. So this runner of the CBC, therefore we must tailor our curricula to suit that runner. And therefore, maybe I move on. There is also the other pathway, the special needs curriculum, right? That runners with the special needs, because we said the guiding principle is inclusion. And so even the special needs runners are also taken care within the CBC. We move on. The early years, like I said, the formative area, the formative stages, the pre-group. We have the PP2 and PP1. Then grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. That is the early years. Then we have the preschool and the lower primary running areas. So with the pre-primary, that is pre-primary 1 and 2, they will do the 5 areas. And then the lower primary, they will take the 9 areas. Literacy, Kiswahili language, arts, KSL for runners who are deaf. 3 language activities, 4 indigenous language activities, mathematical activities, environmental activities, hygiene and nutrition. Religious education could be CRI, IRI, HIDU, they will take those ones, and life skill activities. Then 9, you have movement and creative activities, which include art and craft, music, and physical education. Then the middle school. This middle school is where we have the grade 4, the grade 5, and the grade 6. So we got to think about these runners. What are we going to offer our teachers who will train at that level? Then you have grade 7, grade 8, and grade 9. That is the JSS, the junior school. So this junior school will be anchored within the secondary schools. The task force, which was appointed by the president the other day and gave feedback, that they proposed that the JSS be placed in the current high school, so that a runner will go through the 3 years in junior school and then the 3 years in senior school within the current high school environment. Then So with the upper primary, there are the 11 areas, running areas, and then with the lower secondary, there are the 13 running areas. Then we move on. Our key interests within this discussion or this discourse is the senior school, because these are the students who will transit and come to the university. So the senior school will have 3 tracks. That is arts and sports sciences, social sciences, then STEM. Now, according to the basic education curriculum framework, the BSEF, developed by KICD, the STEM pathway will take about 60%. Then we have this the social sciences, which is likely to take about 35%. Then arts and sports is likely to take 15% of the runners. And therefore, you can see from there they transit to the different tracks. From the sports, arts and sports sciences, we will have three pathways, 3 tracks. Sorry, there is sports, performing arts, and visual arts. From the social sciences, there will be the languages and literature, humanities and business studies. Then from the STEM, we have the pure sciences, the applied sciences, technical and engineering, then career technology studies. So within those pathways, these are the runners who translate to the university. So within the sports pathway, there are those 5 core subjects, and then the students will be able to choose from the optional. So our key interest here is this. The core subject number 1, community service learning. Subject number 2, PE, physical education. So these are compulsory subjects within the entire curricula. And then learners will be able to choose ball games, athletics, indoor games, gymnastics, advanced PE, outdoor pursuit, martial arts, boxing, and many other sports. Within the performing arts track, there is the core subjects. Again, community service learning and physical education, core subjects. And then they're able to choose, could it be music, could it be dance, theater, and elocution, whichever they want to choose. Then the visual arts, the core subjects again, community service learning, then PE. Then they're able to choose whether they do fine art, applied art, time-based media, that is photography, video or film, and then the different crafts. Then within the languages and literature, we have the core subjects again, CSL, community service learning. Then you have the physical education, and then they're able to choose whether they do English language, literature in English, lugha ya Kiswahili, fasihi, KSL, indigenous languages, foreign languages. Is it Arabic, French, Germany, or Chinese? So you see the guiding principle, diversity. The curricula will provide opportunities. Then we move on to humanities and business studies. The core subjects again, community service learning, and then PE, physical education. And then learners maybe choose, could it be history, citizenship, geography, CRE, IRE, HIDU, business studies. Then the pure sciences within the STEM pathway. We have this, the pure sciences track. There is the community service learning, there is the physical education, there is ICT. These are compulsory subjects. And then they're able to choose a minimum of 3. Perhaps we have mathematics, therefore, biology, chemistry, or physics. Then there is applied sciences. Again, community service learning, physical education, ICT, compulsory subjects. And then they're able to choose agriculture, computer studies, food and nutrition, or home management. Then Technical and engineering, 6 key subjects that they have to take. Community service learning, PE, ICT, like you have seen within the STEM pathway. Then mathematics, physics, chemistry, or biology, they will choose. And then which one to take, either chemistry or biology. And then they have the optional subjects: agricultural technology, geosciences, marine and fisheries, aviation technology, wood technology, metal technology, power mechanics technology, construction technology, media technology, electronics, manufacturing, or mechatronics. So you can see the guiding principles, diversity, and therefore you can see the curriculum is very broad. Then career and technology studies is this pathway. We have the community service learning within the STEM pathway. This track has community service learning, physical education, and ICT as compulsory. Then they will choose within the various options. Are they going to do animal keeping, refrigeration, air conditioning, and exterior design, landscaping, building construction, culinary arts, leather work, garment and dressmaking, photography, food and beverage, motor vehicle mechanics, carpentry, joinery, firefighting, metalwork, land surveying, science laboratory, technology, electronics, printing technology, and crop production. You can see diversity. The curriculum is very broad. And if you look at this, within the 3 tracks, there are 90 subjects that a student can be able to choose from. And therefore, the reason why I have taken time for us to go through the senior school, these are the students who will translate to the university by 2029. And therefore, as a university, we must, before that time, review our curricula to accommodate these runners. That's number 1. Number 2, the many subjects that will be offered in the senior school. That means we must develop programs to accommodate these runners. Then key to us, there are 2 key core subjects. That is community service learning and PE. So therefore, we must prepare ourselves to receive these runners and therefore afford them the opportunity to also experience within these 2 areas. There are certain pertinent issues that the curriculum has also talked about: the citizenship, health education, life skills education and value education, education for sustainable development, non-formal programs, and then community service learning and parental engagement. So with these pertinent and contemporary issues, we will also affect our curriculum review and also the new curriculum we are going to develop, because they are likely to inform what core subjects or core units are we going to offer to these runners when they come to the university. So we are saying they will translate. Now we are at grade 4 within the 2020-2021. And so by the time we come to 2029, the first cohort will come to the university. But on the other hand, let's see it the other way around. There are even some runners who come a little earlier, perhaps to do the certificate courses. So colleagues, we need to look at the runner we have currently, who I will call the old runner, and the CBC runner. Allow me to call the new runner who will come to us as the new runner. The current runner now want texts, hard copy notes. They want so much text. But we are seeing the runner of that CBC, that future which is coming, is visual. So we got to take our teaching away from text, hard copies, to PowerPoint presentation. Designing our courses afresh to inject visuals, because they are the ones which are likely to bring learning to them. The current runner is largely passive, but the runner of the CBC is hands-on, want to engage, mind-on, hands-on. So they want to engage in activities. So therefore, that means we must change the specific learning outcomes, the specific learning outcomes, and therefore the specific learning experiences within the classroom to make them hands-on. This learner, the current one, is formal, but the learner who is coming is personal. You got to engage that learner at a personal level, individualized attention. The learner the current learner is technophobic. You put students on teams. Out of a class of 200, maybe 20 attend. But we are saying the future to come. These learners want those teams, want to be taught through Microsoft Teams. And therefore, because these learners are techno-savvy, they know more about technology than us. They are techno-savvy. Then this learner, we are saying the current learner is independent. But the learner of the future is interactive, want to interact with both materials, with colleagues, with the teacher. And not necessarily the issue of hiding their work, the issue of cooperation, the issue of collaboratively being able to generate knowledge. The current learner is competitive. So when you go to the classroom and you are teaching, and you give out maybe an assignment, a supervised practice, runners keep hiding their work from the others. But we are saying this runner of the CBC is collaborative. They want to generate knowledge as a community of runners within the classroom. We are saying the current runner is sequential, that when you are teaching a content, it must progress from the foundational, going to the intermediate, up to the final. But we are saying the runner of the future can start anywhere. They are non-linear. They can start from the middle, go to the front, to the foundation, and go to the head. So they are non-linear. This runner, we got to plan for that runner who is coming. Then the teaching currently is teacher-centric. It's about the lecture on stage, the students taking notes. And we are saying that the runners go through the same running activities. The specific running out experiences are the same. But we are saying that runner, the CBC one, we are envisioning, is the student-centric running, social collaborative running, where runners as a community within the classroom run together, generate knowledge, not necessarily from the teacher, from many multiple sources. We are talking about breaded learning, either from physical classroom and online. Then personalized learning, that's what we are talking about. We are saying the current teaching is teacher-centric again, that this teacher must be the only one who knows, and the runner must be receiver. But we are saying in the future, both the teacher and the runner can help each other to run, running to run. Then we move on. There are certain skills, what we are calling the 21st century skills, which every runner must acquire. Running and thinking skills, creative thinking and PS, problem-solving skills, communication skills, creativity and innovation skills, collaboration skills, contextual learning skills, information and media literacy skills. This is what the employer outside there wants. And therefore, we must inculcate these 21st century skills in that runner that we are looking forward to meet. Then there's the ICT skills, the information literacy, the media literacy, and ICT literacy. So we are saying we are moving from this shift, the book-based paradigm, to internet-based shift. So we must now think about how will be our classrooms. What kind of infrastructure do we need to put for the library? Is it physical books? Is it e-books? So that's why we are looking into this. We are saying the runner of the 21st century is one that will receive a lot of materials from teacher Google. That is the internet. It's like a floodgate. And therefore, they will get a lot of information from there. And therefore, when they come to the classroom, these learners are not tabula rasa. They have a lot of knowledge within them. and therefore it serves as the faculty to tap. And therefore, you see, the kind of teaching in our classroom will actually change. There will be a lot of flexibility within the classroom. It's not a classrooms where you have a podium and the students are seated down there, or the teacher is down there and there is a theater. No, the kind of classrooms that we expect is such an environment where learners in a group, they sit in a group, collaborate with their ICT gadgets, and are able to generate their knowledge. So the kind of 21st century classroom we are talking about is individual study and reflection, one-to-one instruction, peer-to-peer discussion, small group, then the bigger large group, the teacher-directed instruction, and also the student presentation. That is the classroom of the 21st century. So we are saying we must move, also shift our mindset. And therefore, we must train ourselves. We must re-engineer our teaching so that we are able to capture the 21st century classroom. The assessment, we are saying the 21st century is about formative assessment more than the summative assessment, to create an aligned accountability. So we are saying we need to consider the ICT literacy assessment as a starting point. We create open repositories for assessment items and rubrics to help measure the 21st century. So here we are saying we will collaborate. Faculty members in the same discipline will sit together, generate questions, put them in a pool, and from there the faculty will be able to pick assessment questions. So not where we have this pen and paper, the kind of assessment. We need to innovate and think outside the box. So that is the environment upon which the Mount Kenya University 2020-2029 strategic plan is laid upon. That is the foundation. So let me go back and look at the first KRA, the key result area, academic excellence. So we are saying for us to be able to achieve academic excellence, which is built on now the CBC framework, we must be able to achieve the following 7 strategic objectives: to enhance the quality of teaching and learning, to increase student enrollment, to institutionalize CBC, to promote specialized and dynamic learning, to enhance professional training in the university, to strengthen ODEL, open distance electronic learning mode of study, to enhance provision of library services. So for us to achieve KRA, the key result area number 1, academic excellence, which is one of the core business of the university, that is the teaching, we must be guided by the 7 strategic objectives. How then do we achieve the first strategic objective, to enhance the quality of teaching and learning? For you to do that, we must be able to engage skilled and experienced faculty. So currently, we have about 450, but we are envisioning with a wide curricula that will be offered by the CBC. Therefore, there will be so many pathways also to us, and also tracks, and therefore we are likely to offer more programs. Therefore, we must identify and recruit skilled and experienced faculty. So we move on. We need to build the staff. You have recruited the staff. So the next thing is you now build the capacity of the staff by carrying what we call the TNA, training needs analysis. Then after you have carried the training needs analysis, you carry out the training. After training, you evaluate now the competence of staff. So therefore, the first objective we have said is to engage the staff. Then you build the capacity of that staff. Then from there, now you release the staff to go to the classroom and teach. And therefore, we must monitor curriculum implementation through a number of activities: lecture attendance, student academic progression. Where are our runners? At every given time, the runner who came in January 2020, where are they? Can we be able to account for every runner? So academic progression. Then identify and appoint external examiners who are competent, who come and moderate the examinations that we give, and also examine theses and projects. Then online examination, we need to think of a way of doing, like we are saying, the runner is a technical survey. We need to move there and also offer this kind of exams. Then we are saying, this student is now with us here. You have engaged the right staff, we have capacity build them, they have taught. But then there's the runner. We must enhance academic advisory for the runner so that these runners, we engage them and advise them on the right programs, on the right ways of studying, so that they can be able to excel in order to achieve, to nurture every runner's potential. Remember, that is the vision. Then we move on. We need to think outside the box now, because the teaching has been largely physical classroom, where there is the mortar, brick and mortar. But we are saying we can teach these runners from wherever they are. So therefore, we must enhance ICT in teaching and learning. So we use modern technologies, like we have the Teams, we have the Padlet, we have Google Classroom, among many other new technologies, so that we are able to reach this runner. Then we are saying that is the first strategic objective within the KRA number 1. Then we need to increase student enrollment. Colleagues, you must agree with me that with the tightening, or maybe the lowering of the number of students who qualify or who achieve the C+, all the students are appraised by the Kenya universities and colleges central placement services. And therefore, we don't have any other reservoir to pick our students from. So therefore, we must be able to develop programs to attract these government-sponsored students who are likely to be the large number of students in our university at that point in time. So therefore, we got to improve our customer services so that we endear this runner to us. We have to grow the student enrollment from the current 2% to 10%. And we can only do this by having very good programs, market-driven program, competency-based education and training programs. Then, therefore, we must diversify academic programs. We mount new programs. Currently, we have 161 program. We have vision to go to 250. Then we want to institutionalize intra-marketing. Colleagues from the customer care reports, our students are referred, we have realized that how do they come to know about MKU? It is through referral by a student, referral by either a faculty member or an administrative staff or a professional staff. So you can imagine now, it means that we must strengthen the intra-marketing, because that's where the students get to know about our programs, and then they're able to join our institution. So we must strengthen by intra-marketing by doing one thing, enhancing the exit meetings during graduations. We must increase opportunities for scholarship from the current 25 to 100. We must now institutionalize competency-based curriculum. So we review the current curricula we have. We have already reviewed 2, which we have arranged to CBC, and we need to now review the 164 programs. We need to develop new programs. We have said we have current 164, we want to go to 250. Then we want to enhance physical education and sports, because we have said if these runners have been doing PE at high school, when they come to us, we need to engage them with the physical education. Then we are saying we need to promote specialized and dynamic learning. That is, we identify centers of excellence. Right now we have the Packard Law School. We have Nakuru campus is in animal health. So we need to engage to identify other centers of excellence. Like what we are saying, Mount Kenya University, Cancer Teaching and Referral Hospital. So we have talked about in high school, they do marine. Why don't we think about maybe perhaps Mombasa campus being such, where we can offer such programs. So currently we have 3 and we want to move to 5. Then we want to enhance professional training in the university, bringing new programs, collaborating with the professional bodies to offer professional courses in maybe accountancy, programs in computer, and many other counseling, many other programs. So here, colleagues, we got to develop programs to meet this demand. Then to enhance professional training in the university, we need also to partner with the professional bodies, get accreditation from them to offer their programs. We have now currently 10. We want to move to 20. Then we want to develop the open distance electronic learning mode of study. Currently, colleagues, we have about 61 programs under this mode, and we can move them to 100. And remember, these runners, they're about, we are talking about 6,000 students. So we can be able to grow this base, these students within the digital platform, maybe to around 20,000. And so therefore we must increase the programs to attract them. Then we must enhance library services. But here we are talking about mobilizing corrections and resources, moving away from hard copy notes to subscribing to publishers, so that we can be able to get their materials, online materials, both for the faculty and for the students. Then we need to keep digitizing the library from the current 40% to 60%. Then expanding library infrastructure, where maybe we'll get these ICT tools and learners can go there and use the facility to acquire more knowledge. Then enhance partnership with the publishers and other libraries, so that we can be able to share these common resources. Then we are saying that is about the first KRA, academic excellence. Then we have the second KRA, research and innovation. Colleagues, if we do not carry out research, if we don't come up with innovations, then we don't have the future. And therefore the future of the university, the future of our country is carrying out research. Research in coronavirus, research in health-related programs, research in academic programs, academic reviews, research in diseases, various types of diseases, research in social phenomena. Why are parents killing children? Why are children killing their parents? The social research. So therefore, we have this opportunity which is catered by this research and innovation KRA. So the first thing is the strategy is to promote an environment that supports the conduct of research. By first of all doing one, we train the staff. Then we now bring guidelines, good guidelines and policies to be able to promote an environment that supports the conduct of research. So like we are saying, we have been training around 150 faculty members. We want to move to 400. We want to bring a balance between teaching and research, because we need a balance so that members of faculty are able to do that. And therefore, we have this guide that we have implemented only two guidelines. We need to implement about 30 of them. Then we need to promote an environment that supports conduct of research by providing seed funding for research, where we give students and the staff some seed, and then they're able to carry out research. And therefore, we have about 10 now, students who are under this program. We want to move to 100. Review research policies and guidelines from the current 2 policies. We want to review the 5 of them. Appoint and enable school champions. You would agree with me, colleagues, that we need people who are championing research within the schools and departments. And therefore, the first thing we need to identify them, and then within the schools, and then empower them, train them, and they'll be able to become research champions within the schools. Then institutionalize postdoctoral programs. Currently, we have only hired 2 research postdoctoral fellows, and we need to move to around 20. Enhance efficiency in research. We need to support professional development of research and research support staff by doing more training to them. And then we need to promote community-based research. Currently, we have about 2 joint research activities, but we are saying we can be doing at least 10 per year. Then we need to circulate research opportunities through the various communication channels from the current 10 to around 50. Create tools for research and communication from the current 3 to 10. Then establish multidisciplinary research teams. Currently, we have about 7 teams, but we are saying within the 12 schools and the institute, we need to think about why don't we make them to around 50. We have 20 teams who are coming from different areas who can collaborate, and when we have consultancies or research grants, they're able to bid for consultancies and even the grants. Then we are saying, once we have done this research now, we have created knowledge. We got to utilize it, we got to disseminate it, we got to retain it. That is, we store it, and we need to safeguard that knowledge by organizing stakeholders forum, where we communicate to them how you create knowledge, how you utilize it, how you disseminate, how you retain it, that is how you store it, and then how you safeguard it. Then we need to include students. Remember, the future, our future is about the students. So we need to keep engaging them in research activities, engaging them in research, creating research clubs, then participating in conferences and workshops so that we disseminate, and then to safeguard the generated knowledge, we must protect it by establishing intellectual property management office. Then we train staff on how to actually safeguard the knowledge generated by having intellectual properties, and then doing a lot of publications in referred journals. Then we now must promote more knowledge generation and innovations. Like we need to engage with the community, do more community engagement, outreach activities from the current 3 to around 6 per year. Enroll students to trade fairs because we need to expose them. Then we want to establish a database within the universities. Within the university, currently we have about 3 IPs, but we need to go up to around 50. Then organize training on intellectual property. We have been doing a little training. We have 50 members of staff, but we can train to around 100 members of staff. Then another strategy is enhancing research grants. We need to bid for these grants by doing collaborations within the research teams and being able to bid and able to write grants, research grants. Currently, we are doing about 20, but we can be able to move to around 200 research grants. Number of teams formed. Currently, we have about 2 multidisciplinary research teams, but we need to move to around 20. And therefore, we want to establish the grants office, make it operational. Currently, we have none, and we want to move to around 1. Then, colleagues will agree with me. Once we have done all this, we are not in a vacuum. We must engage with the partners out there. That's why we have the last KRA that I'm going to talk about, strategic partnerships. We need to engage with the partners outside there so that we can have student exchanges, staff exchanges. So currently, like we are doing about 7 staff exchanges, we need to move to around 20. We are doing about 10 students. We need to move to around 500 students. Then we have partnerships and linkages, value-adding partnerships and linkages. Currently, we are about 40. We are doing around 40, but we can move to around 160. Finally, colleagues, we have a lot of potential in what we are calling Mount Kenya alumni. We have graduated around 100,000 students. These guys are out there. They're in different sectors of the economy. We need to engage them so that they can come and enrich us, either by, they could be providing maybe counseling services to our students. They could help us establish maybe various things within the university, maybe fund maybe an incubation center, a business park, maybe a science park. We need to engage these alumni so that we have so many activities with them and they can help the university grow up to the level we want to achieve. So colleagues, I want to take this opportunity once again to thank you most sincerely for listening to me. In case of any feedback, you can write to me through bjoroge@mku.ac.ke. Either areas within the three key resort areas, perhaps an area you want a clarification, or maybe the CBC, because after this, we will engage all the staff to develop new curricula, to review curricula, to develop strategic plans per school, per college, and therefore, we may require to engage. I thank you most sincerely. For KRA, the remaining 3 KRAs, I have the Director, Center of Professional Development, Dr. Christopher Mutebei, who will come and take you through the other 3 KRAs. I want to thank you most sincerely. May God bless Mount Kenya University.